Okay, testing the scenery, testing the scenery. My head's cut off. It is a brand new year, and that means all of us have made resolutions, goals. What are we gonna do in 2022? One of the things that I wanted to work on was to start creating some more homemade whole foods, like things I can control, workout snacks, breakfast, grab and go items. And so I'm using this cookbook, the Run Fast, Cook Fast, Eat Slow cookbook by the Olympic marathoner Shalane Flanagan, who is amazing if you've never seen her race before. I have both of her cookbooks, Run Fast, Eat Slow one, and then this one, which is like a faster cooking. So we're gonna get started with some molasses granola bars. I have a whole list of things I wanna cook today. We'll see if we get to all of them. I'm not sure how that's gonna go, because as it is, one of the items calls for cashews, and I totally overlooked that, and I have none. So we may have to run to the grocery store later. It's gonna be fine. Homemade, whole foods, healthier versions of your muffins, your granola bars from an athlete perspective. So, Shalane, let's get started on these molasses granola bars. I have a mixing bowl right here. We're gonna basically throw everything in this mixing bowl, pop them in the oven for a little bit, and we are done. 1.5 cups of just rolled oats or quick oats or something like that. This is really gonna help me get rid of those 100 pounds of bulk oats that I purchased now well over a year ago. If you remember that, hit that thumbs up button. 1/2 cup of unsweetened coconut flakes. I just keep these in my pantry like all the time because I love coconut. 1/3 cup of dried cherries. I am substituting that for craisins because that's what I have, dried cranberries instead. That way I didn't have to go buy something extra. 1/3 cup of pumpkin seeds, these green seeds, and I have actually quite a few of these little bags. So I am just going to be using all of these. We are making delicious homemade products and cleaning out our pantry so nothing goes to waste at the same time. I love it. And ditto on the sesame seeds. I have all of these black and white sesame seeds from a meal box kit I never used. 1/4 cup of sesame seeds. Once again, nothing goes to waste. I'm just gonna give that a quick little stir right here, no big deal. And now we will do our wet ingredients. 1/2 cup of tahini or peanut butter. And I prefer peanut butter, so that's what we're gonna do. I mean, tahini's fine, but my kids don't really like it. But because it's really hard to stir, I'm going to heat this up. What? I'm gonna heat this up in the microwave for like 30 seconds or something, just so it can mix a little easier. Otherwise, I think it will just be impossible to get this all mixed. And I am about at the end of this jar. Oh my gosh, it's like the best smell on the planet Earth. I think I need to eat a peanut butter sandwich today. 1/2 cup of peanut butter in the microwave, 30 seconds. And while that's going, let's add some of our other wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. Oh, I forgot the salt. Fine sea salt, 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. And a teaspoon of cinnamon. I can't believe I was missing the most important things. I'm gonna do a heaping teaspoon, just because cinnamon is amazing. 3 tablespoons of a melted coconut oil. This is the one I am using because today's video is sponsored by Thrive Market. We'll talk more about that later. 3 tablespoons of coconut oil, my melty peanut butter, 1/3 cup of molasses, a teaspoon-ish of vanilla. Oh my gosh, it's so sticky. And then mix vigorously. And Shalane says don't be scared to get your muscle into it. But because we mixed up our peanut butter, I think it's actually gonna be okay. Now we're gonna need an 8x8 baking dish. I'm just gonna use a glass square baking dish. It's an 8x8 or a 9x9 or something like that. Put some parchment on it, and then we'll dump all of this in, and then we'll bake it in the oven at 350 degrees for 25-30 minutes or something like that. This is sticky. I mean, they're molasses granola bars, so I love molasses. Did you know that if you crumble up parchment paper, it'll sit inside your baking dish a lot better? Okay, there's my baking dish and parchment. Here go my granola bars. Don't forget to lick the bowl. While my granola bars are baking and I'm kind of cleaning up a little bit, let me tell you about Thrive Market before we continue to the next recipe. Thrive Market is sponsoring today's more healthy cook with me meal prep video because I was able to get a bunch of specialty products directly from their website. It's basically an online market, grocery store, but they sell more than just food for people like me who want to try really interesting recipes with things like powdered beets and chia seeds and pitted dates, who maybe aren't able to find those things, or if you eat a very particular diet, it's so easy to sort on the app or the website by your diet preference, whether it's vegetarian or vegan or gluten-free or keto or Whole30 or whatever it is. Hey Dave, did you know that you can recycle all of the packaging from a Thrive Market box?
Cool.
Yeah, all of it, even this.
Who's gonna clean up all this stuff?
You are. It is membership based. I recommend the annual membership. It comes to only $5 a month, and I frequently save way more than that on every single order. I think the last order I saved like $45 off of my order. If you are worried about Thrive Market being too expensive, wait until you hear this deal. This is the best deal they have ever offered my viewers ever here at the beginning of 2022. If you sign up below using thrivemarket.com/frugalfitmom, they're going to give you not only a free gift, 40% off your first order. 40% off plus a free gift by using the first link down in the doobly-doo, thrivemarket.com/frugalfitmom. 40% off, can you believe it? This is the most epic discount they've ever given. You don't have to leave your house, you can shop online 100%, you save lots of money, and you don't have to put on pants. So I will leave that link down below for you. One of my favorite things about Thrive Market is the Thrive Gives program. So for every paid membership, they gift a membership to a veteran, a teacher, first responder, family in need. So people who need to get these specialty products are able to do so as well. Let's go on to the next recipe. It's broken in half.
They're good.
They are good.
Is it chocolate? It's molasses.
It's molasses.
Okay.
It's peanut butter molasses. Dude, what the heck?
It's crumbling.
Just do this.
Those are good.
Total win. We'll make again. Don't expect them to be store-bought granola bars. They don't taste like that. Molasses granola bars. Very good. Okay, because I am still working through like 100 pounds of bananas that my husband picked up, I thought we would try out these coconut banana breakfast cookies. Anytime you put cookie with breakfast, it makes me happy. To start out with, we're gonna go another 1.5 cups of rolled oats. Or quick oats, that's fine. Don't use steel cut oats. They'll be really crunchy. There's about 1.5 cups. 1 cup of shredded coconut. This is gonna, whoa. Okay. Apparently that's sat too long. And this is gonna be like coconut oil, coconut flour, shredded coconut. So if you don't like coconut, this is probably not the recipe for you. I have 2/3 of a cup of coconut flour. There's 1, 2/3. 1/2 cup of raisins or walnuts. I'm not sure why they're saying raisins or walnuts because those aren't similar at all, but I went with raisins. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Mine are heaping. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I definitely have some chunks with my raisins and coconuts, so you could get in there with your hands, break those up. And I'm using my favorite Danish dough whisk I got from the thrift store for 50 cents or 25 cents, something like that. Can't remember exactly, but it was way less than $1. Okay, now we will add the wet ingredients. I have 1.5 like mushed up bananas going in, 1/2 cup of coconut oil. There we go. 4 eggs. And 1/4 cup of honey. All right, let's mix all this up. Bake at 350 for 16 minutes. They're not that sweet. I thought they'd be a hair sweeter. The cinnamon is really good. My first bite, I was surprised that they were Not as sweet as I was thinking because they're called cookie. I don't think cookie is the right word. But because it's coconut flour, it does run untouched dry. Let's make some pumpkin pie superhero muffins. Now, Shalane has like 3 or 4 versions of these really healthy muffins. And this is the pumpkin version, which I have never done before. So I have 1.5 cups of oats, 2 cups of almond flour, to which I am adding some salt, baking soda, and pumpkin pie spice, which I picked up from Thrive Market. Then 1/2 cup of your choice of nuts, raisins, or chocolate chips. I went chocolate chips this time because my family loves chocolate chips and pumpkin together. Mix the dry ingredients and then we will add all of the wet ingredients. Obviously, we're gonna use pumpkin. I have 1.5 cups of canned pumpkin here, not pumpkin pie filling. All right, in my last video that I used pumpkin and I said I had extra, I was told by a lot of people to put the extra canned pumpkin, like give it to my dog because they really like it. It's really good for them. That was a fail. Speedy looked at me like I was poisoning him. He sat there and looked at me like I had kicked him. What is this garbage? I can't believe that you're giving me this. He didn't touch it. I let it even sit there for a little while. Maybe he would come check it out later. Oh no, 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 no. My dog hates pumpkin. I thought that was really funny. You know what's great about eating chia seeds? They get stuck in your teeth and then you can have a snack later. It's the best part. 1/2 cup of maple syrup is gonna be used as our sweetener today instead of a sugar. I mean, it's basically like sugar anyway, but maple syrup. 3 eggs, 6 tablespoons of melted butter that I'll put over here away from the eggs. So I don't end up with scrambled eggs here. I'm gonna start with a whisk and then transition over to a spatula. You could, of course, do your wet ingredients separately. I'm just lazy and didn't want to dirty up another bowl. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna switch to my spatula and stir until just combined. If I'm being totally honest, it kind of looks like wet lumpy dog food or wet lumpy baby food. I can't tell. It smells good, but it doesn't look good. It's gonna be fine. I've made her superhero muffins before, not this kind, but a different kind, and they're really delicious. So I'm gonna get my muffin tins, spray the muffin tins, scoop these into the muffin tins, and bake them. And hopefully when they come out, they do not look like this, because it's just looking like really soggy pumpkin oatmeal. Chocolate takes it over the edge, man. They're weirdly soft in a good way. And I find the almond flour really filling in comparison to a standard flour, you know what I mean? Not too sweet, really satisfying, nice texture. We'll make again. All right, let's make superhero muffin number 2, apple and carrot. Here come the apple carrot muffins. Once again, just like the pumpkin ones, we have the same amount of oats and almond flour here, to which I will add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And it goes. I'm also gonna do 1/2 cup of the chocolate chips again, because who doesn't love a little chocolate? Give that a little mix, and then the wet ingredients will come in. I have 1 cup of grated carrot and 1 cup of grated apple that I just did with my box grater. I'll tell you what, grating carrots is way easier than grating apples on a box grater. I should have gotten out my food processor, but I didn't want to get something else out. I'm gonna need it for a different recipe, and I didn't want to wash it twice. 3 eggs. A full 1/2 cup of honey. I probably should have melted that a little bit. It crystallized a hair, but I think it'll be fine once I add the melted butter. And the butter is coming in. I don't think this whisk is gonna do it though. Once again, spray your muffin tin, put it in the muffin tin, the batter in the muffin tin, and bake at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. This one's really good. If you're gonna make any of them, you have to do this one. Okay, the carrot apple muffins, I have made these before. I told you that earlier. These are so good. The carrot and the apple lend so much sweetness to it that I think they're sweeter than the pumpkin ones. And I don't even think they need the chocolate chips, honestly. These might be my favorite of all the variety of the superhero muffins. I know I'm talking about my mouth full. So good. This dish is called Race Day Oatmeal. Can't beat chocolate. Beet as in EET, and that's because there's some beet powder right here that I got from Thrive Market. This one right here, so you can put beets, the superfood of beet, into your food without having to mess with beets, because dang, they stain everything purple. They stain my counter purple, my hands, my clothes, my cutting boards, everything purple. So it's a nice way to get it in there. Other things I have in here are just oatmeal, chia seeds, 1 tablespoon of chocolate chips, cocoa powder, dates, almonds, and salt. I have some water boiling on the stove. I'm gonna add 1 cup of boiling water to this, let it steep for about 3 minutes, add almond milk to your heart's content, and this sucker is done. This would be, like, if it's something that you like, this is so easy to pre-make in either baggies or small Tupperwares, like out for the week. Just get all of them out at once, measure out all of your ingredients, and then you have a really flavorful, filling, nutritionally dense breakfast with nothing to even think about in the morning. You don't have to get out all of your containers and measure them out. Meal prep it for the week, easy peasy. Yes, my chocolate chips are totally gonna melt. Stir all of this, and I'm gonna set my timer for 3 minutes. It's gonna sit for 3 minutes. We'll come back. I wanna get that beet powder mixed in for sure. See you in 3 minutes. This is a huge bowl of food. I'm pretty hungry, and I was gonna have this be my main meal for the day. I don't know if I can finish this. Look how big this is. Something I really, really like about this cookbook is she doesn't put calorie counts of anything. Her philosophy is if you're eating whole foods and you're listening to your body and you're making everything yourself, you'll know when you're full. It's when you're just eating like potato chips and Little Debbie's that we can just pound a crazy amount of food. If you wanna know what the calorie count or the macros are, couldn't tell you. She doesn't share that in the cookbook. I might have added 1 extra date, like I put 2 in here. I probably should have done 3 just to give it a little bit more sweetness for me personally, but it's chocolatey and thick, and I mostly taste chocolate. I don't really taste the beets. This is good. This is my main meal for the day, but it's gonna take me forever to eat this, holy smokes. The last thing we're gonna do from the cookbook are these chocolate coconut energy bars. So all you need is a food processor, and there's not very many ingredients. This is gonna blow your mind how easy this is. 1 cup of cashews, in it goes. I have 1.5 cups of coconut. I am using this one right here. 1/3 of a cup of, what is this called? Cocoa powder, unsweetened cocoa powder. Just a pinch of salt, because I did use salted cashews, so I'm not gonna add very much of that at all. 2 cups of pitted dates, and these should be totally fine, but it's good to just make sure that there's no pit in your dates. You don't wanna eat that, first of all. And it's gonna be really loud, and you're gonna feel like your food processor has broken. I love my food processor. It's one of my favorite kitchen tools. I don't use it every day, but there's just no substitute for a really good Cuisinart. This is an 11 cup. I think my stepmom had like a 20 cup Cuisinart. It's 25 years old. It still runs. It's glorious. If you make your own baby food, like homemade baby food, food processor is way better than a blender in my opinion. And I believe this is the last ingredient, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. I got mine from Thrive Market. Wanted a really good quality one. This performance snack is free of refined sweeteners and processed protein powders, which can be difficult on your digestive system. So if you have a hard time with that, you might prefer something like this. So we're gonna run this for 1 to 2 minutes until it's all like a big clump, and then put it in a baking dish. We're not gonna bake it, but we're gonna put it in a baking dish. All right, lid on, and it kind of turned into a big lump, and I'm gonna put it all into here. Press this down so it's all one even nice layer, and then stick it in your fridge for about 30 minutes to chill, and then we can cut it into bars. It did say to put parchment paper on the bottom, but I don't want to. And I feel like if I use a fork, I should be able to get it out. It should be okay. It smells so good between like the coconut and the nuts. Oh, that smells great. Okay, that is going in the refrigerator. I'll see you in 30 minutes. Once your bars are cool, they look exactly the same. You can cut it into 16 bars. And if I did my math right, that's 4 by 4. So I am not doing a very good job at cutting this evenly, but I'm trying to cut these evenly so I can kind of show you what they look like. I do make a recipe very similar to this. They're like coconut date truffle balls, and they're dipped in chocolate, and they're so good. These are a little easier to do. Obviously not dipped in chocolate, but you know, you can't have everything.
Those are good. Those are nice. Who are you?
Just call me Nigella Lawson. What do you taste the most?
Chocolate.
You taste the chocolate the most?
Mm-hmm. A little salty?
Yeah, a little salty.
I like that.
Now remember, there's no sugar in this, so it's not gonna taste like brownies, but it's sweet enough and savory enough that I'm like, This is so delicious and I don't need anything else. It was very good. That's gonna wrap me up for today. If I can find the recipes online, I will link them down below in the description box. I will also leave both of Shalane's cookbooks linked down below. I'll probably do an Amazon link or something like that. I have both, I've cooked from both. I enjoy trying out a lot of her recipes from an athlete to an athlete. Don't forget to check out Thrive Market for that 40% off and free gift. ThriveMarket.com/frugalfitmom. Best deal they've ever done. You do not want to miss this one. I hope you have had a great start to 2022 so far, and I'll see you in the next video.